Six Flags is the largest amusement park chain in North America. Six Flags always seems to be changing their portfolio of parks, most recently in 2018 when they acquired the rights to operate Frontier City and Darien Lake. Six Flags always seems to be looking to acquire more parks, so today we'll be discussing what parks they should buy that would mutually be beneficial to the chain and the park that they buy. I also will go over 5 parks I think Six Flags should sell at the end of the video. The parks that I say they should sell should be mutually beneficial to them and the park that they would be selling. Remember that this is all for fun, and whatever I say in this video won't really be too realistic. My picks will be based on my opinions and some logic based around the things we already know. If you have any disagreements about the parks I think Six Flags should buy or sell, please let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear some of your ideas, especially since I'm only covering a limited number of parks. Also, one thing I did want to mention is that Six Flags only has 15 parks in total, so when I go over parks I think they should sell, it could be a bit controversial because there's not that many parks that people will want Six Flags to sell that would mutually benefit both the park and the chain, so just keep that in mind when we get to that part of the video. First, I'll be going over the parks I think would be mutually beneficial for Six Flags to purchase. But before we get into that, make sure to do me a huge favor by hitting that like button, as that is the easiest way to help out the channel. Also, if you're new here, make sure to smash that subscribe button. We post videos weekly on amusement parks, so to make sure you don't miss any new videos, hit that subscribe button. Now, with all that being said, let's hop right into 5 parks I think Six Flags should purchase. The first park that I think Six Flags should buy is Wild Adventures in Claudeville, Georgia. Hopefully I said that right. This park is currently owned by Herschend Family Entertainment. This park currently has 6 operating roller coasters, not including the recently closed Cheetah, so the park already has a decent lineup of supporting coasters. I think Six Flags purchasing Wild Adventures would greatly benefit the park because they would get a consistent influx of new attractions. Herschend has always seemed to be focused on Silver Dollar City and Dollywood, and now the newly acquired Kentucky Kingdom, so I don't really expect Wild Adventures to receive any major attractions anytime soon, with it being the smallest and probably least important park to the chain. Six Flags is well known for giving their parks frequent additions that could really help Wild Adventures if they were to be purchased by Six Flags. This could also open up the possibility of Six Flags potentially adding a star attraction to this park, potentially like RMCing Cheetah. Six Flags has put some decent sized attractions into some of their smaller parks, so it wouldn't be the craziest thing to think that they could give Wild Adventures a major attraction like an RMC. I think purchasing Wild Adventures could benefit Six Flags because they get another zoological park in their portfolio, which is something Six Flags already has with Six Flags Discovery Kingdom and Six Flags Great Adventure. This would also give Six Flags complete control over the Georgia amusement park market, as Wild Adventures and Six Flags over Georgia are the biggest parks in the state. So overall, Six Flags purchasing Wild Adventures could be mutually beneficial for both parties involved. The second park I think Six Flags should buy is Michigan's Adventure in Muskegon, Michigan. Michigan's Adventure currently has 7 roller coasters and a grand total of 52 rides. This park is famous for being neglected by its current owner, Cedar Fair, as it does not receive frequent additions for the chain and lacks significant attractions. This park would greatly benefit from the frequent additions that Six Flags would give it if they were able to acquire this park, further encouraging more guests to come visit, and Six Flags would overall just give this park more love. Six Flags would also benefit from buying this park because they'd be able to expand their reach up into the north, Midwest of the United States and cover an area they haven't really quite covered yet out in Michigan. But all in all, I think Six Flags purchasing Michigan's Adventure would be good for both the park and Six Flags. The next park we have on our list of parks that Six Flags should buy is Valleyfair, located in Shakopee, Minnesota. I probably screwed that up. Man, these names just do not get any easier. But Valleyfair does have 8 roller coasters. It's actually a pretty decent sized park for what it is, and could honestly fit pretty nicely in the Six Flags chain. This park also struggles to get frequent additions from Cedar Fair, like Michigan's Adventure. They do get some additions more than Michigan's Adventure, but not as much as they would like to see for a park of its scale. I think Six Flags should definitely give this park some help. Heck, this park already even has a Skyscreamer and a Larson Super Loop, so they fit right into the Six Flags chain. Also, the acquisition of Valleyfair would be very useful for Six Flags because they could expand their reach out to Minnesota. Just like with Michigan's Adventure, they could cover an area they haven't quite covered yet. Also, this park is a relatively short drive from Minneapolis. That's another great reason for Six Flags to expand towards that city. But overall, I think Six Flags purchasing Valleyfair would definitely be a good thing for Valleyfair and the chain. The fourth park I have that Six Flags should buy is Wild Waves Theme Park in Federal Way, Washington. Yes, that one was pretty easy. This park has 4 roller coasters and is operated by Premier Parks LLC. Unfortunately, this park has not received a new roller coaster since 2003. That's where I think Six Flags could step in and give this park some love. Six Flags wouldn't have to do too much to improve this park because they have such a smaller lineup of attractions. There's nothing that would really not help out the park at this point. Once again, Six Flags could definitely expand their reach with this park by reaching the Pacific Northwest, and they could potentially turn this park into a positive contributor to the chain. I think the benefits of adding Wild Waves to the Six Flags chain outweighs any issues and would help out both parties. The final park on my list that I think Six Flags should buy is Mount Olympus in the Wisconsin Dells in Wisconsin. This park would probably be very intriguing to the Six Flags chain as they have 2 water parks, 1 indoor, 1 outdoor, and 2 amusement parks as well with 1 indoor and 1 outdoor. Their outdoor park actually has 5 roller coasters, with Hades 360 being the headlining attraction. The water parks are the star of this show at the Mount Olympus Resort, but with some work, the amusement park can become very good as well. Unfortunately, this park is said to have suffered some poor management and just poor operations overall, which has contributed to a lesser quality amusement park. Six Flags isn't known for the greatest operating standards, but I think they could definitely do some good things for this park and get this park in good shape. This park could also benefit from some more frequent dry park additions, as the water parks, like I said, seem to be the bigger focus for this resort. I think as far as Six Flags interest would go, adding another hotel would be great for them, with the Great Escape and Darien Lake already both having hotels. And I think this could overall become a very useful property for the chain. Overall, I think Six Flags acquiring Mount Olympus would be very interesting, and I think it could benefit both parties if done right. Now that we have covered all the parks that I think Six Flags should buy, make sure to let me know in the comments below if you have any disagreements or any other parks you think Six Flags should buy. Just make sure to leave all those thoughts down in the comments below. I love to read them and I love to see what you guys had to say. Just make sure to keep them respectful. Now moving on to the 5 parks that are currently in the Six Flags chain that I think they should sell. The first park that I think Six Flags should sell is Ronde in Montreal, Canada. Ronde currently has 8 roller coasters and 1 roller coaster under construction with Valleyfair. This park doesn't get too many frequent great additions. I do get some decent thrill rides, but overall Six Flags hasn't really decided to do anything significant with this park. From what I've heard, some of the management at this park isn't that great, and that's an issue with a park that actually seems to get some decent crowds. And Six Flags seems relatively uninterested in changing anything going on with this park, so I think it would make sense for them to part ways with Ronde. Ronde technically isn't even fully owned by Six Flags, but I think it makes sense for their owners to bring in another company to run the park. This park actually has a really nice setting on the waterfront, so I think if someone came in and focused on appearance, they could make this park look really good and add a couple new roller coasters, and this park could be a really good park. But overall, I think it would make sense for Six Flags to look to sell the Ronde. The next park that I think Six Flags should sell is Frontier City in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I was actually a bit surprised when Six Flags purchased the operating rights to this park because it really didn't make too much sense to me why they purchased it. This park only has 5 roller coasters and has a limited amount of land, so I found it a bit perplexing why Six Flags actually purchased the park. This park doesn't really fit the whole Six Flags feel because it has that nice western theme. It looks like an overall quality park. I can't imagine that Six Flags is going to put some kind of crazy investment in this. It really wouldn't make that much sense with the relatively small population center surrounding the park. I would like to see someone with a focus on theming and appearance operate this park, as I think that'd probably be in the best interest for the park. Frontier City isn't a thrill park and probably never will be, so it only makes sense. Overall, I think Six Flags getting rid of Frontier City would be a decent decision for the park and the chain. The third park I think Six Flags should sell is actually Six Flags St. Louis in Eureka, Missouri. Six Flags St. Louis has 9 roller coasters, but unfortunately they don't really get that many frequent additions for roller coasters. The last ground up roller coaster that this park received was in 2007 with a Gerstlauer's Family Spinning Coaster, so yeah, it's definitely been a while. I honestly don't really see Six Flags investing in this park, given the history of the park and knowing that Six Flags will probably be under spending restrictions due to the events of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, I do think this park has a lot of potential under a new owner. I think if a new owner got rid of some of the stupid Six Flags quirks that the park has, it could become a really nice park. I think if they made a couple adjustments to the ride lineup of this park, it would have a very good lineup as well. If this park were to get an RMC and something like a hypercoaster, this could be a really good lineup. I know Six Flags built this park up from the ground, but I don't really think they have much interest in building it any further. Also, Six Flags St. Louis is not a high priority park to the chain, so it wouldn't be that big of a loss if they had to sell it. So overall, Six Flags St. Louis could definitely benefit from being sold to a new owner by Six Flags. The next park on this list of parks that I think Six Flags should sell is Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, which is probably a controversial choice to a lot of you. This park could be considered a medium-sized park or medium priority park in the Six Flags chain, with its 10, soon to be 11 roller coasters in Northern California. This park also features a lot of animal life as well, which is one of the main draws for the park overall. However, there are some reasons why I feel like this park is bound to regress in the future. For one, this park has a height limit of 150 feet, which isn't a huge deal, but it's definitely a factor when adding new attractions and how big they can actually go with their attraction. Also, they're definitely running out of space in the park with all these new additions. They keep filling the park up with clones and other things of that matter, so they'll eventually run out of space and ideas to add new attractions. The other big issue is that a park just an hour away, California's Great America, is rapidly expanding and is bound to be better and bigger than this park, and it'll probably become the more attended park out of the two Northern California parks. I obviously don't think Six Flags should sell this park immediately, but I think down the line it might be a reasonable idea to put this park lower on the priority list and consider it for sale. Also, I'm not the biggest fan of Six Flags operating a park with marine life. There's nothing overly wrong with it. I'd just like to see a chain that specializes in stuff like that, like SeaWorld, run the park, as I think they could probably do a better job with it in my opinion. But overall, Six Flags Discovery Kingdom is definitely a park that Six Flags could look to sell maybe 10-15 years down the line if the time is right. The final park on the list of parks that I think Six Flags should sell is one of the most obvious choices on this list, and that is Great Escape in Queensbury, New York. Great Escape currently has 6 roller coasters, but they haven't received a ground-up new roller coaster since 1997. I visited this park once in 2017, and the way I described it is it felt like a Six Flags Knoebels. It had a nice small-town park feel with some decent theming, but unfortunately, I felt like it kind of got ruined by the Six Flags part of it. This park did not feel like it should be owned by Six Flags. It felt like it needed to be owned by a family or a chain that was more willing to cater for appearances rather than just money. Also, Six Flags gives this park next to nothing in terms of new rides. They have given it a couple of thrill rides, but that's really about it in terms of recent history. One of the main reasons I think Six Flags has kept this park is because of the indoor water park resort they have next to the park, but I honestly rather see someone else operate other than Six Flags. Also, this park is one of the lowest priority parks, if not the lowest priority park in the Six Flags chain, so they really lose nothing by getting rid of this park. So overall, I think it would be a wise choice for Six Flags to sell Great Escape in the near future, especially with the tight money restrictions they'll be under due to the events of the COVID-19 pandemic. That is my list for 5 parks I think Six Flags should buy and 5 parks I think Six Flags should sell. Make sure to tell me your list down in the comments below and any parks I may have forgotten. Just remember that this is all for fun and probably will not be realistic in the slightest, but it's always fun to think about these kind of things. It'll be interesting to see what Six Flags does going forward with all the issues they've been having financially. So who knows, maybe they will buy some parks, maybe they will sell some parks. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But if you made it to this point in the video, I really appreciate it. Make sure to give me a big thumbs up. It would really help out the channel if you already haven't given me that thumbs up. So please go ahead and do that, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this coming very soon. But guys, with all that being said, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.